The National Youth Service Corps Director General debunks report on resident officer dying in camp of COVID-19. Abia State Governor pays compensation to farmers and herders over clash in the state. Saudi Arabia bars 20 countries from entry over COVID-19 surge, excludes Nigeria. Details shortly. Ekiti State Governor and Chairman of the Nigeria's Governors Forum, Kayode Fayemi, says Nigeria is expected to procure a total of 140 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine within the next 2 years. Governor Fayemi disclosed this while delivering an address at the Chatham House event, London, titled "The Role of Nigeria's State Governments in Recovery Responses to COVID-19 Linked Challenges." He stated that they are working with the federal government to ensure the vaccines are available in the country. The governor noted that the forum had a National Economic Council meeting where the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency shared the plans around vaccines procurement. He added that about 80 million doses of vaccines will be available this year to cover 40% of the population, while another 60 doses is being planned for 60% dose, is being planned for 2022. National Youth Service Corps NYSC has clarified its position on the death of one of its resident officers who allegedly died of COVID-19 at Kano State Orientation Camp. NYSC's Director General Shuaibu Ibrahim, in a TV program monitored by Darling FM, explained that all prospective corps members for the 3-week course underwent the COVID-19 test conducted by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) as a prerequisite condition for admission into any of the 37 camps nationwide.
This is in every forum, either through PTF or an NCDC press briefing. I have this opportunity to clear the air that only those that are negative are permitted in camp. When people report that so number of corps members in camp test positive, I say it's not true. Only those that are negative are in camp. Those that are positive are taken away by the NCDC. And I'm happy to tell Nigerians that so far we've never recorded any fatality amongst our corps members and staff except for this one. And this one happened not in the camp but at the isolation center in Kano.
The NYSC DG denied that the deceased officer died at the permanent orientation camp at Kano, while urging members of the public to debunk the rumor making rounds.
Foremost, it's not true that the staff died in camp. In line with the PTF and the NCDC guideline, all prospective corps members and camp officials that are invited for the orientation exercise were tested. It is mandatory that all must be tested, and only those that are negative that are allowed into the camp, and those that are positive are taken away by the NCDC and state health officials for treatment. And that was what happened. The staff concerned, just like other prospective corps members and officials, underwent tests, and when it was positive, he was taken away by the NCDC to the Kano State Isolation Center, and that was where unfortunately he passed on, not in the camp.
Recall that the officer whose name was withheld was posted to the permanent orientation camp in Kano State a few days before he developed COVID-19 symptoms and died. Imo State government has blamed the mayhem experienced in Orlu last week on the falsehood allegedly peddled by the opposition in the state. Commissioner for Information and Strategy Declan Emelumba stated this while answering questions during Darling FM's flagship program, The People's Voice. Declan cited that the government holds the opposition squarely responsible for this because they knew the message was false but kept sending it across. Also answering a question on road construction in the state, the commissioner said that Naze Nekede Ihiagwa Obinze Road is a very classical case of what the government has been doing in terms of going to the neglected areas by previous governments. Emelumba noted that the Relief Market Road was also neglected for many years, but on the underground tunnel from Dick Tiger axis and crossing the ever-busy Owerri-Umuahia Federal Highway is a big balloon-driven tunnel that will take all the flood in Owerri to Otamiri River. He reiterated that a reasonable length of the road will be commissioned as part of the administration's 1 year in office. Investors and traders at the Imo International Market, Ubomiri, has debunked allegations making rounds that there are shady deals involved in the ongoing shop allocations. Chairman of the Investors Forum, Prince Val Oswala, who fielded questions in Owerri, challenged any person with such claims of payment in respect of the shops to come out openly with verifiable documents or bank accounts.
Why somebody should be claiming to own the shop or claiming to be a tenant, even if you pay tenancy 5,000 or 10,000 naira for 2 years, it has a lapse. Nobody will come and say he owes this or that. I have not collected 1 kobo. Look at my team here. If anybody can come here and say we have collected 1 kobo, a dime, since we came here, let the person, that means that I will relinquish my position as chairman. We have not collected 1 kobo. As out of today, I have nearly 200 people that have signified interest to come in here. Yes, apart from the bulk traders we are working with elsewhere, these are individuals that have come here specifically saying, I want to be here. We stated it without any equivocation that it is free.
He reassured of absolute transparency, diligence and sincerity of purpose in all transactions for allocations of shops at the Ebada Imo International Market, Owerri.
We are working together, and areas we are supposed to do things, we are doing them, and the Samata and ministry is also helping, giving us directives on what to do to make this place conducive for traders. And within our capability and ability, we are doing those things. We have cleared this compound, and then we have streamlined the market to make sure that traders, according to their ways, are also they're supposed to stay. And then we have gone over the radio to let people know that this place is already ready, and we are now willing to bring them in.
Val Oswala added that the ultra-modern market will help people recover, especially in a depressed economy after the global pandemic. Abia State government says it will pay a compensation of 100,000 naira for any cow killed and farmland destroyed in conflicts between farmers and herders in the state. Governor Rosecamille who made this known during an interview on a TV program, said the payment is part of a mechanism used by the state whenever there is a conflict between farmers and herders. He also said the criminal elements were taking advantage of the hospitality provided to them by the people of the state. The Abia State governor said the members of the committee include the Mieti Allah, the DSS and the DPO of the various local governments. Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom has declared the results of his samples tested for COVID-19, which returned negative. The governor said this while addressing journalists at the new banquet hall of Government House in Makdi. He appreciated the people of the state, his friends and supporters across the country for their prayers during the period of self-isolation. Ortom also thanked his deputy Benson Abuno and urged the people of the state to adhere strictly to the COVID-19 protocols. This is 107.3 Darling FM Owerri. If you are just joining us, you are listening to the World News. In the news, National Youth Service Corps Director General debunks report on resident officer dying in camp of COVID-19. Abia State Governor pays compensation to farmers and herders over clash in the state. Still to come, Saudi Arabia bars 20 countries from entry over COVID-19 surge, excludes Nigeria. Still ahead is Business Report. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Thank you for staying with us here on 107.3 Darling FM. Now to the foreign scene. Saudi Arabia has suspended entry from 20 countries ranging from some neighboring states to the United States in a bid to curb a jump in the coronavirus infections. Interior Ministry announced a temporary suspension will be effective from today. The ban applies to neighboring Egypt and the United Arab Emirates and in the wider region to Lebanon and Turkey, but it excludes Nigeria. In Europe, the ban includes Britain, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Portugal, Sweden and Switzerland. Elsewhere, as well as the United States, it applies to Argentina, Brazil, Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Japan, Pakistan and South Africa. Saudi citizens as well as diplomats and health workers coming from those countries will be allowed to enter the kingdom in accordance with the precautionary measures. The announcement comes after Saudi's health minister Tawfiq al-Rabai warned that new coronavirus restrictions can be imposed if citizens and residents do not comply with health restrictions. World Bank says Nigeria needs to implement key reforms in order to get the economy out of the current stagnations and achieve sustainable inclusive growth. Chairman of the Presidential Economic Advisory Council, Doyin Salami, said this at the virtual launch of the 2021 Macroeconomic Outlook of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. At the forum, the World Bank said its estimates show that between 15 million and 20 million Nigerians will join the poverty rank by 2022. Also, World Bank senior economist Gloria Joseph Raji noted that COVID-19 hit the Nigerian economy very hard as the country experienced last year its deepest recession since the 1980s and the second in 5 years. According to her, Nigeria needs to push forward policies that will help to improve the business environment and welfare of the average Nigerian. And that's the world news as produced by Ezine Gloria Lozier. You can reach our news desk for coverage and eyewitness report on 0818-732-5104 or send an email to darlingfmnews@gmail.com. You can also listen to Darling FM from anywhere in the world. Go to www.darlingfm.ng and click to listen. Stay safe and don't forget to wash your hands with soap under running water and use a face mask if you must go out. I am Chidera, Rosecamille, Aneke. News update is at 5 p.m. Good afternoon.
My name is Dr. Hyacinth Emele.
Dr. Emeka Molisa.
Dr. Ngoka Stanley. I'm a consultant physician and nephrologist and a member of the Infection Prevention Committee in the Federal Medical Center, Owerri. Dr. Hyacinth Emele. I'm a family physician with the Federal University of Technology, Owerri.
Dr. Emeka Molisa. I'm a consultant pediatrician. This period will be really tough for parents having to stay at home with kids.
The coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is real. Even though